chapter 15, section 1. So the Roman Republic had basically come to an end with the death of Julius Caesar, but nobody really knew that. So after Caesar dies, you got the triumvirate, and coming out on top there, you are going to have Octavian. So in 27 BC, Octavian takes control of Rome. And he tells the Senate that the Republic has been restored and he will resign as the sole ruler. But the Senate refuses. They won't let him resign. And so Octavian is going to take the name of Augustus, and he also takes the name of Caesar, and he becomes known as Augustus Caesar. So, in theory, Augustus became the first Roman emperor. The Republic's over, the empire is beginning, but they didn't realize this at the time. Augustus was consul, he was tribune, he was high priest, and senator at the same time. But Augustus officially wouldn't take the title of emperor. He was afraid people wouldn't accept his one-man rule. Augustus kept government officials. He kept the assemblies. He made sure that the senators feel powerful. But one big thing that Augustus wanted to do was make sure that the army was loyal to him. He didn't want soldiers loyal to their own generals. So he made them swear allegiance to him. Augustus chose talented people for his officials, not just people based on their birth. This means that even freedmen would get a chance under Augustus, these former slaves. Augustus wanted the boundaries of the empire to be easily defended. So he's going to he's going to round them out by using physical boundaries. So instead of having it randomly stop in the middle of a field as the boundary, the boundaries would be rivers and oceans and deserts and things like that. He also wanted to strengthen the Roman Empire's existing territory, not expand it. So to do this, provincial governors were going to be given longer terms of office, which would give them time to gain more experience, to rule their provinces better. The governors were going to be paid large salaries. This made sure that they didn't need to steal money that was supposed to go to Rome. He also made sure there was a census, a population count. So that way he could make sure people were taxed correctly. Under Augustus, Rome is going to be made better. One of the big things he's going to do is he's going to beautify Rome. He's going to fix it up. Going to make it look good. He passed laws concerning public behavior. You can't have people just doing whatever they want and acting however they want. Sets up a fire department. Builds the first library in Rome. So he's doing a lot of good things here for Rome and for the Roman Empire. But in 14 AD, Augustus dies. He had ruled for 41 years. And in that 41 years, he brought peace to the empire. There was a sense of pride in Rome. People in the provinces could become citizens, Roman citizens. And his reorganization of the government worked out well. It's going to run well for the next 200 years. But there's a problem when Augustus dies. Who's next? There was no law to say who'll be the next emperor. And so most of the next rulers were actually chosen from his line, his family. The next 4 emperors were either related to Augustus or his second wife. It's going to be called the Julio-Claudian dynasty. But none of them were equal to Augustus. But they do keep his policies, and they do keep the empire strong. So after Augustus, you had Tiberius. Problem is, under Tiberius, plots and violence were common again. Although the empire did run well, there was more violence and just different plots. You've got Caligula. Caligula, he was cruel. Caligula was insane. This guy appointed his horse to be consul. He'll actually eventually be assassinated by the imperial guard, his own guards. And these soldiers are going to choose the next ruler. And the next ruler will be Claudius. Claudius was a peaceful scholar who restored order and conquered Britain as well. So he's the one that brought Britain into the empire. After Claudius, you're going to have Nero. Nero is the last of the Julio-Claudian line. Nero began well, but turned very bloodthirsty. Under Nero in 64 AD, Rome actually caught fire. And Nero blamed the Christians and began to persecute Christians, even though it's commonly thought that the fire might have actually been started by Nero himself. 4 years later, the army rebels, and Nero commits suicide. And so here we have the very beginnings of the empire.